What's up, YouTube family? How you doing? This is Kofi Baraka, and right now you're in another segment of Kofi Baraka's World. This is, of course, season 2. We're in episode 24 right now. Deion Sanders and the All Star. um, and this episode is entitled "Chosen Ones." Ooh. Goatman, Bigfoot, and inner earth. So of course, especially talking about something of this stature, we're gonna have a good prayer. So let's pray real quick. Let's pray real quick. God, thank you for this beautiful day. Thank you for our health. Thank you for just watching our every step, watching us every second, making sure that we're secure and that we're sufficient in all our needs. We don't take you for granted, and we're truly appreciative of everything you have done for us. Thank you for our families. Thank you for air. Thank you for water. Thank you for life. Amin Ra, Ashe, 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 and spirituality. Ashe. God's first. Alright, so of course you can subscribe, you can like, you can comment, you can click the notification bell, you can download and just take in this knowledge, you know what I mean? That was a good one. All right, so this is a juicy. This is a juicy episode right now. We're talking about some real. We always talk about real shit, but we talk about some real shit. So this was in my heart. I'm gonna say it. All right, so my first point is Goatman. Now, I'm saying this for all my Aboriginal, people and all my people of the world, especially people that look like me. So when this stuff starts to pop up, you're not caught off guard or by the taboo or the lies or the fallacies or the myths. You know what I mean? Like I always say, if you hear a kid talking, that's my son. Sometimes he hears me recorded and he makes a lot of noise. So you know how kids are. But like I said, my first point, we're talking about Goatman. Now, the Goatman, it could be a he or she, but they usually just say Goatman. The creature lives like 1,000 years, 5,000 years at a time. And what they do is they go in and out of earth, and they live in the earth. They might sleep for like 75 years or so, 80 years. Realistically, it depends on what kind of family or species they come from. But they normally live thousands of years at a time, and that's why they don't know sense of time, and that's why they don't wear clothes and stuff, because they sleep for 75 years, and then they come on the top surface of the earth where we reside. And then that's when they might stay on earth for like 2 years, maybe 3. It depends on the winter, even though they bout it. But it depends on like the climate, the temperature, where they at, and the food source and the water source they have. Their homes are usually like tree stumps, and it's like 3 feet underneath a tree stump. So be careful. You see a big hole in a tree stump in a park or in a national park or whatever. You know what I mean? Or a reservoir or whatever. They're usually spotted like in Maryland, where I'm at right now. I heard stories of Tennessee of the Goatman. I heard stories of Kentucky of the Goatman, and West Virginia of the Goatman. As well as like near DC and stuff, and the whole story about the laboratory, etc., etc. I don't have to go deep. They normally eat plants, human junk food, human junk food. That's why if you see like the side of the road, and you see a whole bunch of like Dunkin' Donut boxes and like Slurpee. They like stuff like that because it's new to them and they know that they're gonna be asleep for a long time. Sometimes, like I said, they bout it. So sometimes they might eat animals from like the forest, like a deer or squirrels. So snack on that shit. Um, small dogs. You see a lot of missing dogs. You better watch out. You know what I mean? That's like a Kit Kat for them. You know what I mean? That's like a Snickers. You know what I mean? But if they're extremely hungry and provoked, naturally they will eat some humans. So be careful. And or take you where they come from. So be real careful. All right. Normally they're like 7 to 8 feet tall, 450, 700 pounds. Um, they're individuals, so you don't normally see them like in cliques of family. You might see two at a time, if that. I've seen one before. I seen one. I could tell you he was probably like 6'5". I ain't see him too close. I saw him. I was walking a highway, and a nigga telling the truth when you know the exact date. It was December 23rd, 2000. I want to say 16, and not one to say it was 16, and I saw him maybe like 200 yards away from where I was standing at. Looked right at me. His eyes was like this big. This nigga had fur and had tits, and then was standing upright, but his lower body was almost like a human. And I know chimeras, I know the satires and stuff like that, but if I'm saying it incorrectly, I apologize. But that was definitely a Goatman. So like I said, they come to Earth, they live 300 years, sometimes 75 years in the ground, a couple years on Earth. Then we got Bigfoot, which is spotted also in Maryland, Virginia, North Carolina, New Jersey, New York, Alabama, Michigan, Wisconsin, North Dakota, Montana, West Virginia, California, and Connecticut. They're normally 800, 1,200 pounds, 9 to 11 feet tall, strong smell, strong in terms of their power, loud voice. They throw trees down in terms of like actual big ass trees down in terms of defense mechanism, territory, and like if their food is running, they can capture them a little bit easily. Also, they throw the trees down and they dig like 3 feet, maybe 5 feet little ditches so helicopter and radar can't detect them. If you see a lot of trees wrapped and like vines wrapped and sticks wrapped around certain trees, only an animal of that sort would have the strength and the control to do something of the sort. So just be careful, because that's like their booby traps. It's a lot of other booby traps that only a Bigfoot would know, or a Sasquatch, or a Yeti, whatever name or moniker you want to give it. These are real creatures, you know what I mean? And I can't say if some are benevolent. I believe some are, and I believe some are not benevolent because of humans and what we have done and our previous history. So, and like I said, you gotta be careful because they're family oriented. So you got teenage female, you got teenage son, you got little baby Sasquatches, you got adult Sasquatches, you got mom that's big as Shaq, you got dad that's 10 feet. So you gotta be real careful. You know what I mean? Very careful. Like usually, like the teen Sasquatch, they normally, because only adult Sasquatch can have their own home in the ground or in the trees or et cetera, or they have their own area. A teen Sasquatch, because it's like a typical teen and they know about humans, they usually sleep on top of a tree wrapped around. They look like a big ass carpet. You know what I mean? From like Spanish Harlem or some shit. Like I'm talking about what's that material called? Shit. Man, from the 70s. Oh, starts with an S. Oh man, shag. That's what it's called. They're like a big ass shag rug on top of a tree. Scary as fuck, cause you don't know what the fuck you're looking at. You think it's a bear, then you see that motherfucker look at you like, oh shit, it's dog man. You know what I mean? So it's like you gotta be careful, cause they do sleep in trees, and oof, yeah, man. So let's get to Inner Earth real quick. So, in a nutshell, you got the Anaki. And Anaki, this is my belief, became the people of Atlantis. When Atlantis went down, or did what it did, you know what I mean? They became the 12 tribes of Israel, or 13 tribes if you include Benjamin. And then, of course, even with the 12 tribes of Israel, you got down the line, you know, Haile Selassie. You got a lot of big people that come from that line. You know what I mean? So basically, like Inner Earth, when you talk about Inner Earth, these people live thousands of years too. They don't age. Like I had recently a dream about going into Inner Earth, and I seen people with heads as big as mine. I also seen people that were just ultimately beautiful, and they look like they like 29, 30 years old, they 400 years old. And I'm talking about people that look like Iman. I'm talking about niggas that look like Calvin Lockhart, or I'm talking about people that look like, I don't know, like Lapita, and they be like 120 years old, and it's like, you look good as fuck, and it's like, I'm 135 years old. It's like, God damn, I'm a baby. It's like, God damn, my mom's 400 years old. Like, what? But the Inner Earth, these niggas live like a long time, like the Peter Pan conspiracy, in terms of the idea of Peter Pan and how he went to a different continent on Earth, but a different continent outside the 7 that we were taught. Because there's like 32, 33 other continents out there. You know what I mean? Even Antarctica outside that circle, it's a whole different world, literally. And I ain't talking about Cree Summers. So it's just like, and that's my girl though. But all I'll say is like the Inner Earth, man, and like that's where Nikola Tesla, I heard he lives down there. I heard he took the people king, and they were glad at, you know, proud of what he did, and they took him in a submarine when he was an older man, and he went in the ocean, and then naturally they took him to the underground land, however they took him. So he's still living to this day, and he might be going through the Benjamin Button situation in terms of reversing his age. But like I said, it's the end of episode 20. Ashe, Ashe, Ashe. I love you, YouTube family, and my woke ones. You know, I want you to have a beautiful week. Be organic, peace, and knowledge. You know what I mean? I just wanted to hit it real different today. You know what I mean? And just get on that vibe, get on that level. You know, like I always say, we're number one. Our God is number one. And the journey's not done. All right. And of course, I will see you in the next dimension. Last toke for those who can't smoke. Peace.